Hi guys, once again, you all are very welcome to the chemistry part. In this session, another important topic in isomerism. So which is nothing but enantiomers, which is the most important topic in all your competitive exams. So what are the enantiomers? What type of questions may come in all your competitive exams? So we'll discuss about the enantiomers and enantiomerism. You know that guys, enantio means opposite. Enantio means opposite. The two isomers which are mirror images to each other, that phenomena is called enantiomerism. And those two isomers are called enantiomers. So for better explanation, look at this one. Look at my hand. So maybe this hand may be placed in the mirror. Maybe image may be like this. Maybe my right hand. That means the two thumb fingers are mirror images to each other. The same explained with the chemical formula. Look at this one. The most familiar example, which is nothing but a glyceraldehyde molecule. In the glyceraldehyde molecule, look at this example. The OH which may be present right side to the chiral center. So this one may be the chiral center. So this molecule may be placed in the mirror. Maybe the mirror image may be like this. This one may be the D-glyceraldehyde. The mirror image may be the L-glyceraldehyde. That means two isomers are mirror images to each other, but non-superimposable. What is that word? Non-superimposable. Look at my hand. The left hand may be placed in the mirror. Maybe image may be like right hand. Look at this one. The two thumb fingers are maybe mirror to each other. At the same time, all the fingers are mirror images, mirror to each other. But the right hand may be placed on the left hand. Look at this one. All the fingers are not correctly matched. So this is a non-superimposable. So the two isomers which are mirror images to each other, but non-superimposable to each other, that phenomena is called enantiomerism. Look at this one. The molecule may be placed on this molecule. All the atoms are not exactly with the 0 degrees angle. So the two isomers which are maybe the mirror images to each other, the two isomers are enantiomers. This phenomena is called enantiomerism. So the two isomers, point number one guys, both are mirror images to each other. Point number one, but non-superimposable to each other. That is also important one. Non-superimposable to each other. Non-superimposed to each other. That is one of the important one. And next one. For exhibit the enantiomerism, the compound must contains at least one chiral center. Then only enantiomerism phenomena is possible. Look at this one. So this one may be the chiral center. So all the four groups bonded with the carbon are different. So at least, point number 3, at least compound should contains at least one chiral center. At least one chiral center. That is the third most important point. And fourth important point. So these are only mirror images. These are only mirror images. The two compounds contains the same molecular formula, same chemical formula, but only difference is mirror image. The plane polarized light passes through this compound, maybe turns to the left hand side, that is maybe the lavorotatory compound. It may rotates to the right hand side, that may be the dextrorotatory compound. That is only the difference. That's why all the physical and chemical properties of the enantiomers should be the same. All the physical, so physical properties and chemical properties should be the same, for the enantiomers. And more importantly, enantiomers are optically active compounds. That is the most important one. Whether enantiomer is optically active or inactive, yes, it should be optically active compound. So point number 1, guys, enantiomers are mirror images to each other but non-superimposable. Already I told you. So when left hand is placed in the mirror, it may be like right hand, but non-superimpose. Okay guys. Point number 3, enantiomer must contains at least one chiral center. All the mirror image compounds are not enantiomers. Compound should contains at least one chiral center. Then only they may called enantiomers. And point number 4, physical and chemical properties should be the same. That's why enantiomers are little bit quite difficult to separate. The separation of enantiomers, which is a little bit difficult compared with the diastereomers. So how can you separate the enantiomers? First, enantiomers may be converts into the diastereomers. Then separation is possible. Okay guys, so that we'll discuss it in next class. Next one, enantiomers should be the optically active. These are the properties for the enantiomers. So for our competitive exams point of view, so maybe 1 or 2 compounds may be given, whether these compounds are enantiomers or not. So all the time, mirror image which is not observed in our competitive exams point of view questions. Okay, we'll discuss with examples, enantiomers with examples. Okay guys, please note all these points. We'll just write some examples. Okay, next one. Okay guys, so first example, in your competitive exam, so molecule may be given like this: COOH, H, so CH3, OH, H. So this is a compound number 1. And next, compound number 2. So compound number 2 may be like this: COOH, H, and OH. Next one, CH3, H, OH. Look at this one. So this is the compound 2. So what is the relation between the first one and second one? So whether they are identical, or enantiomers, or diastereomers, or 1 and 2 may be the meso. What about your answer? So okay guys, when placed in the mirror, you can't find the whether this compound may be the enantiomer or diastereomers. That is a theoretical part. 2 enantiomers are mirror images to each other but not superimposable. In competitive exams point of view, so questions may be asked like this. First, you should find the RS nomenclature, which is nothing but dash wedge formula. Already We discussed about the RS nomenclature in dash wedge formula. First you should find the RS nomenclature. Simple trick. Within fraction of seconds you can find the RS nomenclature. You know that. So first give the numbering according to the atomic number. So oxygen, which may be the first one. Next, carbon may be bonded with the 3 hydrogens. So this one may be the second priority. And CH3 may be the third priority. And hydrogen should be the fourth priority. Look at this one. So when you see from the hydrogen, the remaining groups may be 1, 2, 3. Rotates like in the clockwise direction. If least priority group may be present on the broken wedge, remaining groups are clockwise. The configuration should be the R. Okay. Next one. Look at this one. Oxygen first priority, second priority, and COOH. This may be the third priority. Look at this one. 1, 2, 3. Clockwise. What happened? So when the molecule may be 1, second priority 2, and third priority 3. Is it correct? Which is a wrong one. First priority, second priority should goes to the COOH. Why? Because carbon is bonded with the multiple bonded oxygen. So second priority COOH, and third priority should goes to the, so this carbon, chiral carbon. 1, 2, 3, anti-clockwise direction. The least priority group may be present on the solid wedge. Again, this configuration should be the R. The first molecule configuration is nothing but RR. 2R, 3R. Next, find the second compound configuration, RS configuration. Okay, oxygen, atomic number is more, first priority. Carbon is bonded with the 3 hydrogen atoms, but this carbon may be bonded with the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So second priority should goes to the chiral carbon, and third priority and fourth priority. Look at this one. 1, 2, 3 rotates in clockwise direction. But the least priority group present on the solid wedge, the configuration should be the S. Okay. Next one. Look at this one. So oxygen first priority. Carbon is bonded with the 3 oxygen atoms. Why? Because COOH means C double bond OO. So second priority should goes to the COOH, and third priority goes to this carbon. 1, 2, 3 anti-clockwise direction. Least priority group may be present on the broken wedge. Again, anti-clockwise broken wedge. This configuration is also S. So look at this one. First, you should find the RS nomenclature. Before going to find the RS nomenclature, whether the given compound should contains the same molecular formula or not. First you check the molecular formula. The first molecule, second molecule may contains the same groups. Okay, no problem. Then second point, you must find the RS nomenclature. So look at this RS nomenclature. In the first compound, the second carbon and third carbon should contains the configuration RR. In the second molecule, in the given second molecule, the configuration is nothing but SS. The image of R is nothing but S. That means these two compounds are mirror images to each other. So they should be enantiomers. They must be the enantiomers. So first compound and second compound both are enantiomers. That is the relation between the first and second compound. These type of questions are very important in your competitive exams. And next example, explained with next another example. Second example. CH3. H, OH, H. Okay guys, and next one, CH3, maybe OH, H, maybe CH3, OH, leakage. So what is the relation between the first and second? Again, the same concept. First you should find the RS configuration. Look at this one. So this one may be the chiral center. Oxygen goes to the first priority. Second priority goes to this carbon. Why? Because this carbon may be bonded with oxygen, hydrogen and carbon. Second priority, third priority and fourth priority goes to the hydrogen. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe rotates in clockwise direction. Rotates in clockwise direction. Which is nothing but Fisher projection formula. In Fisher projection formula, least priority group may be present on vertical line. The remaining groups are clockwise, which may be the R configuration. If anti-clockwise, which may be the S configuration. If least priority group may be present on horizontal line, the remaining groups are clockwise, which may be the S configuration. If anti-clockwise, which may be the R configuration. So that discussed in our RS nomenclature Fisher projection formula concept. So already discussed in last session. Okay, so look at this one. Clockwise direction, horizontal line, which should be the S configuration. Again, oxygen first priority, second priority, third priority, 1, 2, 3, clockwise direction. Again horizontal line. This should be the S configuration. Okay, look at this molecule. Oxygen first priority, second priority, third priority, anti-clockwise direction, horizontal line, which may be the R configuration. First priority, second priority, third priority. Look at this one. Again anti-clockwise direction, which may be the horizontal line. Horizontal line. So this should be the R configuration. So in the first compound and second compound, molecular formula should be the same. Atoms and groups should be the same. And more importantly, this compound and the second compound may contains 2 chiral center. But in your concept, enantiomer must contain at least 1 chiral center. No problem. So the first compound configuration is SS. The second compound configuration is RR. So these 2 are the enantiomers. These 2 are mirror images, but non-superimposable. The physical properties and chemical properties should be the same. Simple, guys. The first compound and second compound, elements, groups, both are same. Then chemical properties automatically same. So physical properties are also same. Melting point, boiling point, density. So they are also same. Why? Because the only difference is the rotation of the plane polarized light. If plane polarized light passes through the compound, it may rotate to the right hand side, it may be the dextrorotatory. It may rotate to the left hand side, it may be the lavorotatory. That is the only the difference. So for the enantiomers. Okay guys, so this is the concept of enantiomers. I hope that you should enjoy this video. Please share to your friends, family. So for all your well wishes. Okay guys, in the next session we'll discuss about the diastereomerism. Okay guys.